Murphy's Nest, and we're going to take the larger than matte images that I had cut, and we're going to put them together kind of like a puzzle piece. Now, I use, which is just freezer paper, and it's very thin and flimsy. However, if you don't have freezer paper, or if you want something else to use, you can do anything you want to make this stencil. What you're going to need is some tape. It doesn't have to be green painter's tape, it could be any kind. And then you're also going to need your pencil. Oh, I got a piece blown away. And then I have over here the underlayment board. So let's get started by putting these pieces together.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Day or two ago, I thought I'd take a ride until Miss Fanny Bright was seated by my side. The horse was lean and lank, misfortune seemed his lot. We ran into a drifted bank, and there we got outside. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Okay, so this is a pretty quick, rough template. Now, some of my spots actually didn't fully line up, and it was probably because I actually ran out of the width of, or the length of my freezer paper, so I was using some scraps. But for the most part, we do get a really good sense of what he looks like and how big he is. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put him onto the underlayment board, and we're going to trace him out. Okay, so just a quick thing, real quick. I did print out the picture of what he's supposed to look like, so that way I can kind of reference it as we're working. So let's move him over to the side, and let's grab our underlayment board here. Now, you can peel this little sticker off, put it to the side, and then we're going to take our Grinch and we're going to place him on here. Make sure that you got him within the limits of what you need. And This right here looks like it's his hair, and it looks like it may have skipped a little bit on this end. So when I go to trace that, I want to make sure that I'm a little bit more careful on outlining it so it comes out okay. Alright, so I'm just going to tape some of these edges down that look like they're lifting up. So that way, as I'm getting ready to trace them, I can make sure that they're all in place. And when we go to move them, we'll just pull the tape right up. But at least it's keeping it all secure so I'm not missing spots. Now, my underlayment board, I don't know if it got wet, but there's a little bit of a bump in a few spots. So if you're going to the store, make sure you keep an eye on that before you buy it. Make sure it's a nice smooth piece for your project. Alright, so now I'm just going to take my pencil here and I'm going to start tracing. You don't have to be perfect with it, so just get it as nice and neat as possible. But just remember that when we go to actually cut this out, we're actually going to have the saw, so we can maneuver it a little bit differently. So like right here I made a little line, it's too much, so you can kind of erase it and go back over it. And we're going to be painting this, so don't worry about the pencil marks. I mean, try to erase them as best as possible, but if you don't, the paint will cover them. So now I have this spot here, and I can't tell if where the seam was, if it comes all the way over. So what I'm going to do is where his hand is here, this actually looks like his hand going this direction. So I'm actually going to continue to keep it the way it was. Okay. So now that we got them all traced out, we can actually remove the paper, the stencil. And now we have him all out on the board. So what we're going to do next is we're going to actually go to the jigsaw and start cutting around the edges. Okay everybody, so this is my jigsaw here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to put my board up and I'm just going to go around the blade, around my stenciled area where I traced it. Make sure we got power going to it.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it
I'm not going to cut in the circles. I'm going to actually just paint those, but at least I have them outlined so I know where they are. He's not perfect. I mean, he looks really rough, but we're going to sand his edges down. And I was looking here, and I mean, his face shape is really different. And then it sticks out a little bit over here. So he doesn't look very perfect. So if you're doing this particular image, I don't, foresee any issues if you didn't cut him perfect. So we're going to go back inside and get them all sanded up, and then we can work on the finishing process. Okay, so now that we got them all cut out, I have 80 grit sandpaper here. You could probably use a 60 or something else if you didn't have 80. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to gently sand off the little pieces on the edges, and just to get it nice and smooth so that way he doesn't look so rough.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go.
Okay, so I got our Grinch's edges all sanded down. Excuse me. What we're going to do next is we're going to take this image and we're going to kind of outline some of the areas that we can figure out what colors and what spaces we need. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with probably like the bottom right here, where the bottom of the ruffle, the white fringes on his shirt. So I'm kind of looking at him, and it looks like maybe it starts right about here underneath his hand, and it looks like we actually got a piece of it over here that we actually had to cut out. So I'm just going to make some little like kind of like, I don't know, make it look like fluff, like a cloud or something. So just some shapes here, half circles, and then I'm going to bring some more down here. Just so we have an outline, so when we go to paint it, we know what we're painting. Alright, so now his hand, what I'm looking at, is it's coming out and down. So I know this is where his sleeve is right here. So I'm going to just make a straight line like this. And this is done with pencil, so if you mess it up, you can erase it until you feel comfortable. This is kind of like freehanding stuff. So if you're not really good at tracing or, drawing and stuff, you kind of just gotta eyeball it, kind of get an idea, and then you can make adjustments as you're applying the paint or as you're tracing it all out. So I have his hand outlined, I have his cuff on his sleeve done. Now I'm gonna do this side. Okay guys, so what I have done is, since I used the pencil and sketched out the sections on my paper, I'm going back over and I'm starting to do the painting aspect. So I'm just using apple barrel paints and just a basic paintbrush. And we're going to start with the green now. And we'll do his face and the bottom of his body.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go,
Okay, so now we're going to use the white paint and we're going to get in these areas. Okay, so now my last step here, since I got most of the body pieces all painted, I'm going to use my black paint and I'm going to start working in some of my detail. You might want to use a bit thinner brush so you have a little bit more control. I'm thinking I might use something like this. And first off, I'm going to use my picture again. And we have some of those lines. I'm going to just fill in some of the little creases on him. Now, if you don't feel comfortable doing this, you might want to use your pencil and work on it before you actually do it with the paint. So that way you can make sure that you have everything nice and neat in the way you want it before you actually go to paint it, because it's going to be harder to go over the paint than it would be if you were just going over the pencil, because the pencil you can at least erase it. And I'm just putting some little touches on the edge, and now they don't have to be perfect, so it's just to outline it so people can kind of see the difference of where everything is.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Day or two ago, I thought I'd take a ride, and soon Miss Fanny Bright was seated by my side. The horse was lean and lank, misfortune seemed his lot. We ran into a drift